International Security, international representatives, Prime Minister, Mekamai government, Ministers of the Crown, Twin Kingdom, Parliament, Mekamai, representative from ABG, Autonomous Bougainville Government, if any, Upeii Governor, North Bougainville, Governor of Central Bank, Commercial Bank Governors, IBOM and Combank, Bankers of the Crown, Commanders and Soldiers of the Crown, Papua Division Workforce, Division Teachers, Doctors, Nurses, Ramapo Operational Government, Seminar Organizers, Speakers, Participants of trial of the universal third-party government system for the new heaven and new earth. Ladies and gentlemen, happy closing ceremony to you all. My speech this morning will be very brief. Firstly, you all know that we have now reached a very powerful stage in our journey towards our freedom, independence, and sovereignty and civilization, both as a nation and as a people of the world. Therefore, the things that I'm going to share with you this morning are what most of you are already aware or conscious of. I'm very certain the things I'm going to share with you this morning are what you are already aware of or conscious of. I'm very certain that this seminar you've been through had opened a lot more doors, windows, access roads in your thinking capacities. You now see things differently. You are now full bottle and overflowing in wisdom, knowledge, power, authority to rule and reign with me over the whole world. Together, we now have power and authority to override and overrule anything and everything. I have been ready all this time, but have been waiting for you to come to this present level of readiness, awareness, and consciousness that you have now reached. I could not move forward on my own when my own people were still thinking and living in the past dispensations. You all know that I came back to my own city in late 2004 with a totally new concept, new idea, new dispensation, new covenant, new seals, new kingdom, new government, new system, new life, new mindset, new way of thinking, new heaven, new earth, etc. But since most of you were still living in the past covenants and dispensations, I decided to wait for you. And I'm so glad to realize from the latest seminars and programs that you are now all fully ready and overflowing with power, authority, wisdom, and love to take our gospel of the kingdom to the lost and suffering world. Therefore, immediately after this closing ceremony, this conventional weekend, I will start sending you back to your respective homes, districts, provinces, countries, and regions of the world. On Monday, a couple of bankers from PSG will begin the process of departure from Tondo City. The others will depart during the week, rest day, light day, and so on. And the rest of our governors from East and West Paradise will follow thereafter. I'm sending them home because they are now ready to go and turn the world upside down and downside up. The same goes to those of you from our own Bougainville Mekamai Island. I'm sending you home to turn our island upside down and downside up too. And note that I'm not going to fail you, nor leave you, nor forsake you, as long as you keep to my covenant, the seals, the code of ethics, and remain trustworthy. I will never fail to back you up, continually with all power and all authority, including unlimited financial backup, visible and invisible power, and so on. You will never lack anything because I will always be with you according to our covenant. Remember that when you make a covenant with me, your life and my life are interconnected forever. I cannot fail my covenant partners. Therefore, when I say that I will continually be sending funds to your accounts in your respective banks and countries, I really mean it. That's how we build trust in each other. Covenant and seals The seminar has already clarified to you my 3 covenants and seals. Therefore, I will just run through them as a reminder. My first covenant was done on Tuesday, 2nd November 1999 under the old Gregorian calendar when I was overseas somewhere in Australia. It was a covenant of sacrifice and promise sealed by the seal of self-discipline in matters of food, fasting, etc. Self-discipline brings self-control. Without self-discipline, it's not easy to carry out the enormous task given to me, and now from me to you. My second covenant was done on Tuesday, 4th January 2000, still under the old calendar, also overseas, when I was on my own. It was a covenant of praise and worship, sealed by the seal of the sacrifice of thanksgiving. Without some sort of sacrifice, it's just not possible to carry out the enormous global task mandated unto me and now from me to you. Every one of you sacrificed something of value to come and join up with me. Maybe your time, your resources, and money. Most of you sacrificed your good images and good standing in the communities, etc., to follow me because you knew it was the right thing to do. They called you all kinds of names, like conman, liar, gammon, cow, ignorant, fool, uneducated, etc., etc., just as they have done to me. Some of you were once big businessmen and women who owned big supermarkets, wholesales, shops, trucks, etc., but you still forego or sacrifice all that for my sake. Therefore, now that our turn has come for delivery, I will make sure to return or repay your sacrifices with everything I have built up over the years. It's all now yours. My third covenant was completed on last Tuesday, on 15th February 2000, still under the old calendar, also washed overseas somewhere. It was a covenant of obedience and fellowship, sealed by the seal of mutual trust. Father God Kopona, Kototantano Yahweh Jehovah, and I finally had to seal our covenant with mutual trust. I trust him 100%, and he too trusts me 100%. He could not just entrust me such an enormous universal mandate and responsibility to rule and transform the world for him without first putting me through such a very difficult training process I went through. At that time, the whole world was against me. Even my own clients in PNG and Bougainville and Malaysia were once looked upon as friends, were all calling me names. My own pastors were also starting to call me names. The police in Australia and PNG were searching for me. The governments were talking and searching for me through their official channels. The ASIC, Australian Security Investments Commission, was searching for me everywhere. Everyone was searching for me in the hotels, the guest houses, government offices, you name it. But I was not to be found anywhere because I was in a time of deep prayer and fasting for many months, somewhere on the streets. I say, let it be. If I die in fasting, let it be, because everyone hates me, and because no one loves me, no one will care about me if I die here on the streets. During the time, I was just like an 8 days young baby who does not know anything except its mother's milk. Anyway, those were the circumstances under which those 3 covenants were made and sealed. Ratification. As you might have also heard in the seminars, every covenant must be ratified by blood. In the Old Testament times, covenants were ratified by the blood of animals. Even under the last dispensation, which is now Old Covenant, the covenant of Joshua was ratified by his own blood. Without blood, there's no ratification. That's why I too had to ratify my covenant with my own precious blood. You all know the events that took place here on the 21st of November 2006 under the old calendar here at King's Square, Tonu. In the attack, an M16 bullet came directly to me and hit me on my left jaw, from which I shed many liters of blood. That's how I ratified my covenants. But I did not die, because I did not come to die, but to live and transform the world. The world news, Post Korea, the national, Austrian news, etc., all reported that I had died. But sooner or later, after I was able to respond to the calls on my satellite phone, they realized that the mystery man was still alive, active, and powerful. That's in terms of spiritual power. As you can see, the Judeo-Christian Bible power comes through covenants. The written Bible is a book of covenants containing testimonies of people from all walks of life. It's the same with our own situation here in Bougainville, Mekamoy, Kupuna, Wagotantanu Yahweh. Jehovah has made covenants with me and I with him. Even in regards to the independence struggle here in Bougainville, there's no need to wait for ratification from PNG or United Nations for that matter. Our own people, in fact, 20,000 lives have already ratified our nation's freedom, independence, sovereignty, and civilization. All power. Some people think that we only have financial power and nothing else. They forget that we have all power and all authority in heaven and on earth. Not just financial power, but all power. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard me saying all power and all authority has been given unto me in heaven and on earth. By this I really mean all power and all authority, including spiritual power, earthly power, heavenly power, visible power, invisible power, cultural power, people power, political power, governmental power, imperial power, royal power, monetary power, banking power, currency power, financial power, economic power, trade and commercial power, nature power, supernatural and supernatural power, power for healing and working of miracles, all power and authority, whatsoever I need to override, overrule, and transform the world, or to turn it upside down and downside up. The same power that was given to the first Adam in the Garden of Eden is here now with the third Adam, with the double portion. Adam was given an overriding position to rule and reign over the world, even the universe. However, you all know that the serpent deceived him and usurped the position from Adam. Therefore, for more than 6,000 years, the serpent has been overriding and overruling everything mankind does on the planet. That's why there's never been any real peace or harmony anywhere on the planet. According to the Judeo-Christian Bible, the head of the serpent was crushed 2,000 years ago by the second Adam. Therefore, since then, the serpent has only been ruling with his tail and body, not with his head. In other words, the original position given to Adam has been vacant for all those years. Well, the good news is that the position has now been taken. The position is no longer vacant, but occupied in full. The third Adam is here now, occupying the position and overriding and overruling the world. That's why recently you started seeing things happening from another dimension. Several of our covenantal people died in hospital or were in the process of dying when we commanded recovery, restoration, and healing from here. The spirits were restored back to their bodies and they recovered, revived, and got healed. Then we left them to the medical doctors to do the rest of the work. The most important thing was the spirits or souls which we were able to restore to their bodies by simply overriding, overruling, and commanding recovery and restoration. Even a couple of our women were struggling in childbirth. Their babies could not come out, and I was asked to hire vehicles to take them to our hospital. However, I said, no way. I don't have funds for that. I just command from here, from my office or throne room, and they'll give birth normally. You all know the stories. They gave birth without any more complications. There's a spiritual power which is beginning to show up. And you are going to see much more bigger miracles that eyes had not seen, no ears had heard before. We now have double portion of power to turn the world upside down and downside up. All that power is now in our very hands. It's exactly why we have been going through all these hard preparations and trainings. The concept of all power can be divided into millions of little powers too. One of the little powers that I've been using is called the power of no other way. It's number 83 in my list of millions or unlimited powers. When you find yourself in a certain difficult situation, There will appear to you several options or escape routes. But as you press on, you will find that there are only two options available for you. One is a wide way and the other is a narrow way. You might call them tree of knowledge or tree of life. Whichever option you take will determine the rest of the journey in your life. For instance, here in Bougainville, after the Civil War or crisis, our revolutionary leaders led a war against PNG. After a decade of bloodshed or killings on both sides, our people, especially the civil population, just could not take the sufferings anymore. We needed an immediate solution. We needed at least one country to recognize our independence, but there was none available under the UN system. After traveling the globe and finding that there was no country willing, ready, and able to recognize our independence, our revolutionary leaders realized that there was no other way but to go back to PNG. Even the UN told them the same. You must go back to PNG and come through the legally accepted international protocol to be recognized as a nation. It left them no option but to just surrender back to PNG and negotiate their way through. The fact of the realization is that there was no other way forward but to return to PNG. It became the main agenda here in Bougainville. They began to carry out awareness campaigns everywhere, convincing everyone that there was no other way, and that the only way was through PNG. That's how the BDG, Bougainville Transitional Government, was formed, which they now call ABG, Autonomous Bougainville Government. In other words, the ABG was formed out of that necessity called there's no other way but through PNG. On the other hand, the original revolutionary leader, Franz Johanna, was left on his own. Those who left him mocked and ridiculed him in the media and everywhere else. Even his own former BRA partners tried to kill him in an ambush, but they can't school fire. The event came to be known as the Lorraine coup. I'm just sharing this so you may know that even though there was no other way according to those who engineered the ABG, there was still a way out. On one hand, those under the ABG think that the only way is through PNG, while those under Mekamui also claim or they think that there is no other way except through our own sovereignty. Both options are still at large. ABG still has not arrived at its destination yet. It's very obvious that PNG will keep delaying its so-called ratification. The ABG president has vowed to get independence by 2025, which the government of PNG has extended to 2027 and might further extend to 2030 or 2050 and so on. Even the Mekamui still has not reached its destination of full independence realization yet. Well, the answer or solution to, as you all know, is with the mediator. Our revolutionary leaders appointed a mysterious mediator immediately after plunging the island into two governments. The mediator then set up a system called USTREP and established all other projects like Papara, Twin Kingdom, Iran, Royal Assembly of Nations Kingdoms, Maldives, banking, currency, finance, economic, trade, and commerce system, new global calendar, and so many others. The mediator is now fully equipped, qualified, ready, willing, and able to unite the whole island under one government, one nation, one country, one currency, one system, one structure, etc. The mediator has also turned out to be the overall financier of the government of Bougainville Mekamui of here. That's why the mediator actually is very committed in understanding people who are willing, ready, and able to go and turn the island upside down and downside up. The ABG says there's no other way but through PNG. The Mekamui also says there's no other way except through our own sovereignty. Therefore, the mediator is also now saying there's no other way except through the reconciliation and unity of governments headed by the Kingdom of Papara, and there's no other way. The Kingdom of Papara is now ready. This seminar is now fully equipped and prepared all of you to go out now and turn the world upside down and downside up. Not only Bougainville Mekamui, but the whole world. Please do not forget what you have learned in these seminars. I have already promised and assured you countless times that I will not fail you if you go under my governance, series, code of ethics, etc. Don't worry about money anymore. Money is not an issue anymore. I have unlimited funds readily available. I also have the power to convert any of my 40 currencies into any other currency of your choice and send to you. I also have the new world reserve currency, UEG, to create any amount of funds and send to you for global transformation. Just give me your bank account coordinates and I will keep converting and sending your funds to you for our projects. It's so easy now. It took me time because I was waiting for you. Now that you are ready with a right frame of mind, correct understanding, correct interpretation, etc., I will not hesitate to convert and send you funds in your own respective currencies. If you are from PNG, I'll be sending you PNG Kina. If you are from Solomon Islands, I'll be sending you Solomon dollar. If you are from Fiji, I'll be sending you Fiji dollar. If you are from Australia, I'll be sending you Aussie dollar. If you are from America or Europe, I will be sending you US dollar or euro, and so on. It's so simple. So don't worry about money anymore. It's in my hands now. Your concern should not be about money, but about your work. Are you ready? Do you have the right or correct message to transform the world? Are you following my covenants and seals? Are you following my code of ethics? Do you understand the current dispensation of the kingdom? Conclusion. Some time ago, I spoke of how the world of religions and indigenous cultures have been waiting for the saviors or messiahs for some thousands of years. I spoke of how the Jews and Hebrews have been waiting for the coming of the Savior or Mashiach. I also spoke of how Christians are waiting for the Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ, and how Muslims are waiting for the Savior, Imam al-Mahdi, and how the Hindus are waiting for the Savior, Mr. Kalki Avatar, and how the Buddhists are waiting for the Savior, Mr. Maitreya Buddha, and how the Zoroastrians are waiting for the Savior, Mr. Shao Xian, and how the Taoists of China are also waiting for the Savior, Mr. Li Hong, Messiahs for hundreds and thousands of years. Even our own Papa Mekamui of here since time immemorial have been waiting for the return of the Savior or Messiah or King Pei, Upeii, or whatever name you call him in your language. And although he's here already, not everyone has recognized him yet. They think he's a thief. It's the same everywhere in the world. Everyone is waiting for the Saviors, Messiahs to return and bless them. Upeii system. Upeii is a universal system for all humankind of all religions, doctrines, beliefs, cultures, nations, and kingdoms of the world. We are not subjective or objective. We are not religious, but here to unite and treat every religion and belief system in the world equally, justly, and fairly. As long as they are human beings, we see them as perfect images of God, Kupuna, Tantanu, Yahweh, the Creator. That's how we treat everyone equally, fairly, and justly at all times. The highest and greatest power we have is a power of love and mercy. Our global clients come from all religions, cultures, and backgrounds. We have Jews, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, Taoists, Zoroastrians, Baha'is, and all the religions, including atheists and agnostics. Everyone, whether Jew or Gentile, sinner or righteous, pure or impure, clean or unclean, holy or unholy, stupid or wise, teacher or student, etc., etc., are all members, clients, investors, and participants in the formation of the new universal system. So screening will take place at its own appointed timing by the power and authority and mercies of God, Yahweh, Jehovah, Kupuna, Tantanu, etc. We can't force anyone in our physical strength. We can't expect anyone or everyone on the planet to be like us overnight. Your job is simply to go and extend your caring and loving hands to all and everyone, whether Christian, Muslim, Jew, Buddhist, Hindu, Zoroastrians, Taoist, Shintoist, Baha'i, atheist, agnostic, or whoever. They're all human beings, just like you and I, red and yellow, black and white, colored, half caste, quarter caste, or whatever orientation. Save them all under the banner of love. Finally, let me conclude by repeating that all power and all authority has truly been given to me in heaven and on earth. I have gone through all the necessary qualifying processes of preparation, training, and graduation. There's no more process to follow. There's no more outstanding process or issue yet to be completed. The moment our sovereign UV Forex is complete, the entire world will come rushing to exchange the currencies with ours. UV gold is our new world reserve currency, which is here to transform the world upside down and downside up for the better. According to our engineers, our original time frame, they gave us 6 to 8 weeks. This is now our 5th week. In no time, when the engineers complete the part of our governments and nations, and everyone else will begin to trade and exchange the respective currencies with ours. And they'll be making huge profits from the trades, exchanges. In phase 1, everyone from the public may log in into transactions. In phase 2, there will be areas requiring CRNs, username, passwords, etc., where only our own registered clients can enter into transactions. Therefore, you can be rest assured that as the country's governments, banks, and public converge onto our sovereign UEFX for business, there will never be any lack of funds for me and my bankers to send to your bank accounts in your respective provinces, countries, regions, continually and permanently. I will never ever lack funds to send to you as long as you remain faithful and trustworthy according to the King's Code of Ethics, Covenants and Seals. My yoke is very light. I'm not putting an extra burden on you. I'm only helping you so you can help transform your families, communities, countries, etc. Finally, even now, before our UV Forex is completed, I still have power to get funds and send to your accounts. That's why I'm now willing, ready, and able to send our PNG brethren home starting from after tomorrow, Monday onwards. Due to my covenants with them, I will keep sending them funds when they need it. Same applies to our own people here in Bougainville, Mekamui. For those who have submitted their BSP accounts, you will not be disappointed as I will be sending you whatever funds you requested. However, the full unlimited funds will begin flowing from the day our sovereign UV Forex, now under construction, is completed, which is any day from now. I'm just starting it now from another angle. This is my short speech today, and thank you very much.